Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. We upload new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time, so please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax compilation video today. There's two patients in this compilation. Well, I just wanted to show you the difference that these two patients came into clinic back to back. So this first patient's come in one-sided hearing loss, affected more when they sleep at night because when they wake up in the morning the wax is squished together. But you can see that we've got quite a large piece of wax here at the entrance to the canal. A little bit of the white stuff you can see underneath is a bit of dry skin. So we've just got a good grip on that with the standard size ulnar tube. And just manoeuvring that out of the canal. There you go. And it came away really nicely in one piece. A little bit of irritation to the top right corner of the canal there where they've been trying to get in there with a cotton bud. So you can see it all came out in one go. So this is the second patient in the compilation. So this patient came through very dried up wax, actually in both sides, was having a little bit of difficulty. Hearing aid wasn't working very well, so came in to see us to check the ears. So what we're going to do first of all is remove the wax from the canal wall as best we can, because what you could see was a central depression in the wax, which is usually a good indication the patients use some cotton buds just to try and clear the ear. So a lot of the time then you end up with this kind of thinner, harder layer of wax around the outside going into a central big chunk or wall of wax where it's been polished into a wall with a slight depression in the center. So not the easiest of wax to remove, especially when it's this hard. And we've got a lot of dry skin in this ear canal as well, so that's going to dry the wax even further. So what you tend to find with this kind of wax is it'll dry onto the layer of dry skin underneath, which is what's happened here. So I'm just using the crocodile forceps. If we're really lucky, what happens with this kind of wax is it stays together really well. We can get a leading edge underneath, which is what we've done here, and then use the forceps to bring the whole thing out. Unfortunately, in this case, we weren't lucky, and as we got a grip on the outside edge of the wax here, it just tore a plate that was resting against the canal away. There you go, you can see that coming away there. So we're just going to go out under it and just see if we can, we've got another leading edge, just see if we can get behind this piece and take this whole section away. But as you can see, it just broke another plate of wax away there. So you can see the edge of that depression in the center. Now, where it becomes a little bit more complicated here now is we have a layer of dry skin that's flicked up from the canal wall, which means that we're trying to get a grip on this piece of wax, but this dry skin keeps flicking up in front of the suction. So what we're going to have to try and do is get rid of this dry skin first of all. You've got to be quite careful here, especially when you're suctioning skin, because it can vibrate in the end of the suction tube, causing a really shrill, high-pitched whistle. So I'm just manoeuvring it to see if we can get away easily, and then using the crocodile forceps to minimize any noise in the ear canal then. But you can see this layer is quite long, and it stops, or it's actually tucked underneath the piece of wax we need to get to. So you can see it's really frustrating. Every time you put the suction in, the skin flicks up and stops me getting to what I need to, which is that edge of the wax. The wax itself as well has formed perfectly to the shape of the ear canal, so it's formed a plate. And the leading edge I know is to the top right hand corner behind that triangle of skin you can see hanging down. So I can't get to it. As much as I try to, like you can see the skin gets in the way, and I just can't get to that leading edge underneath. Because the skin has come down and it's quite a wide base there, I can't get the crocodile forceps on either side of it to grab it to take it away. And as you can see, it's because the skin is just bumping the bottom edge of the forceps up, I can't get underneath that piece of wax behind it. So quite a frustrating removal, this one, because you can see what you need to get to and you can see how you can get it out, but you've got to do a lot more work before you can actually get to that point. So you've got to clear that. And skin is, especially tough, dry skin like this, is a bit of a nightmare to remove. So what we're doing is switching to a fine end now. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of whistling the patient will experience in the ear canal whilst we're taking this away due to the wax vibrating through. You can see this is the section we need to work on, but as I'm pulling it, you can see it's just pulling more dry skin down. So I'm trying to break this layer somewhere without pulling it too far, because I don't want to cause any bleeding or anything in the ear canal as well. So I'm trying to maneuver this out of the way. I think what you've got to visualize in your head is that this space looks huge on here, but we're talking this space is only about 1 centimeter across. So you're trying to make very fine movements, trying not to touch the canal wall and trying to get this skin away without tearing it too much and get to the wax behind it. So there, now we can see that edge. That's what I was aiming for. I just want to try and pull it down into the center of the canal a little bit more, because that's going to make it easier to get the forceps behind it. There. Okay, so now we've got a good edge to work on that's far enough away from the canal wall that we're not going to press into the canal wall or scrape against the canal wall. Here we are. Unfortunately, there's more wax behind that. It didn't come out in one big chunk, so we need to get a grip on this deeper section of wax now, but we've got quite an angular piece to it, so I have to aim quite low on the wax to try and get to the smoother, flatter section. And unfortunately, that's exactly where the skin is. So once again, this dry skin is just impeding the piece we need to get to in order to get this out. So just going to use the crocodile forceps just to get a grip on it. And sometimes you're lucky and the whole thing will peel away in quite a big plate and you'll get to the wax behind it. But this skin just did not want to play ball today. It was tearing into awkward angles and just in all the wrong places. So just did not want to help me out to get this wax out of here at all. There we are. Just trying to peel some of the leading edge away there. You can see it ends up with these kind of strands. Can't get behind it with the forceps. It's just pressing and pushing that wax further in. You can see this massive layer of dry skin that's in there. It's really difficult to remove that, because you imagine the skin is attached to the layer underneath, so you can't just go in and just rip it out. You've got to kind of go in and maneuver it around and bend it and try and kind of tear it off into a larger piece if you can. You can see just how frustrating this is, because the more you're taking away, the more you're lifting up off the layer underneath. So you end up with, as you take a piece away, you end up with a bigger piece then, which is what we got here. And this wax is so dry that we're struggling to get a good grip on it. You can see it's moving around quite a bit as well, so it's very loose in here. So as we did with the piece before, I'm trying to bend it down so we get a good edge I can get behind it with the forceps. There we are. So we're just going to grab that with the forceps. There you go. So that's one of the deeper pieces coming away. Unfortunately, there's another piece behind that one as well, so we've got to try and get this one out. And I have sprayed a little bit of olive oil in here, but you can see that the olive oil just didn't get down to that base section of wax. Although the patient had their head tilted over for a while, it just hasn't got down there, and that layer of skin at the bottom is stopping the oil from getting down to the edge of this wax. We would put oil on the drier pieces like this. It'll help us get a better grip on that wax there. But as you can see, it's about the tearing away at awkward angles. Rather than it coming away in one big sheet, it's just coming away in a small section. But we can now get to the wax behind it. Always more difficult when it's this solid shape of the canal. We're lucky that it's not too thick, this piece, so we can turn it. So then we can get that leading edge for the crocodile forceps again. Ooh, almost got it. There you go. You can see it. You do get these wax removal sometimes, which is nothing goes to plan. You think, oh, I've got a really good grip, it's all going to come out in one piece, and then stuff like this happens. It breaks away. The grip you get on it's not big enough for you to get the forceps properly onto it. So we're going to go back to a bit of suction. Now we've got it to the outer part of the ear canal. We're going to see if we can suction it out the rest of the way. There we are. Oh, a little bit left behind, so we'll get that as well. There we go. So there's the eardrum, and you can see a couple of little air bubbles there to the bottom left hand corner of the eardrum, so a little bit of middle ear fluid there. This patient also had very dry wax on the other ear, so we're going to do that one as well now. So you can see a little bit different here, so much lighter in colour. It seems to be lots of layers or lots of pieces close together, so not the kind of solid piece perfectly formed to the canal on this side, just lots of little pieces all together. So just taking this bottom section away first. I can see a little gap to the left hand side there, just behind the piece we're working on now. So it's just going to be a case of unpicking this piece by piece. Got a much harder section here at the top. I think this top section is connected to everything else, so what we'll do is we'll clear some of this debris at the bottom first, and then we may be able to get this piece out in one chunk. We just need to kind of gently pull down. You've got that dry skin issue on this side as well, so this is just complicating things because the dry wax holds on to any lifts of dry skin. So what I mean by that is any kind of slight peels of dry skin in here, it'll hold on to that and dry around it. So what you end up with then is a hard piece of dry skin that's firmly attached to the canal, and a hard piece of wax firmly attached to the skin, so it won't budge. So there was a gap, so that we'll try the St. Bart's hook. If it's a thin plate, it's going to be ideal, but unfortunately it's not a thin plate. We can see it goes in much further, and then there's no gap at the side of that then to get the St. Bart's hook in behind it to pull it forward, so it's not going to budge. So I'm going to work on the right side and see if I can detach this from the canal wall to use forceps with it. There we are. So we can just got a gap now left and right, so I can get behind the edge just there. Try and get a really good grip. There you go. And out that dark harder chunk comes. Now we can start to see the eardrums. That's great. We know we've cleared now. Nothing really deep as it was on the other side. So just a little bit of very dry wax here to the bottom right hand corner. Peel that away. Got a little ring of kind of drier, flakier bits of wax on the outside there. So we're just going to tidy this up a little bit. What we don't want to do is, you can see it just starting here, is you get these kind of dry skin pulls. So I'm just going to try and break that off there. I don't really want to pull that all the way down, because this kind of skin pull, when it's very dry like this, is so tough. You just keep going and going and going. It goes, the majority of the way down the ear canal. You've got to remember that blood vessels in the ear canal walls are really close to the surface. The skin is paper thin. So if you go pulling long strips of dry skin off, it's just going to cause a bleed, which is going to leave you at risk of infection, and also not very comfortable for the patient. So we're just clearing around as much as I safely can around the outside edge. If you haven't seen our Facebook page yet, guys, take a look at the Facebook page. There are some videos on there that you don't see on YouTube, and the same if you're watching this on Facebook. There are some videos on YouTube you don't see on Facebook. So that's my plug done. There you go. So you can see we got the eardrum there. So this is what we removed. You can see all the harder pieces of wax there. So it's about 6.5 centimeters there, 2.5 inches if we bunch it together a bit.
Thank you very much for watching our video today. If you did enjoy the video, then please like. If you're not subscribed already and you'd like to do so, you can click the subscribe button here. If you'd like to check out some more of our videos, they're also up there. Now, if you want to follow us, you can do on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also check our website if you want to know a little bit more about us. And as always, guys, until the next time, take care.